Hey, good buddies, what's up? And welcome into the Good Buddies Anime Review. I am your good buddy, Roger.
And I am your good buddy, Brandon.
And this week, we're talking about KAKEGURui, KAKEFURI.
KAKEGURui?
XX.
I think it's KAKEGURui.
Yeah, something like that.
It's definitely something like that.
KAKEGURui
XX. Season 2, season
Yep.
2. Let's do it.
Yeah, so you wanna tell them how it goes?
We're going to talk
Yeah,
about this
what
here
we
in a
doing?
minute. We're going to give y'all a review of recommendation. We're going to tell you whether or not we think you should check it out. And if you didn't watch the first season, hey man, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah.
We had a review for that one. But the way we're going to get there is we're eventually going to talk about it, and we're going to give y'all a final review. And those results could be one of 5 different things. Roger, what if it was straight up trash?
It'd be an anime, maybe not.
What if it was, below average? It wasn't great.
Anime.
It was okay. It was fine. It was average.
Anime, maybe.
Well, it was actually pretty good, though. Not bad at all.
Hey, Animos, definitely.
But if it was amazing, Roger, if it was so
My
good.
guy, that is amazing.
My guy would be an amazing. And the way we're going to get there is we're going to take 5 different categories, 2 stars each, for a possible full 10 stars. That is how math works. Those
That
categories are, Roger, the first category.
The story and setting,
Number 2.
the characters in development,
Number 3.
the art and animation,
Number 4.
the soundtrack.
And finally, that 5th one, that Good Buddy's Wiggle Room, that
Je ne sais
sais
quoi.
quoi. Roger, what does that mean?
I do not know what.
I don't know what. But that's how we're going to get there, y'all. Let's break it on down. Let's talk about it. You got a quick pitch? You want me to do a quick pitch? What do you got?
If you got one, I'll let you. If you don't, I'll do it, man.
I got one, man. Here's a quick pitch. More horny gambling.
Yeah.
That's pretty much
If
it.
you saw the first season,
It's a little bit more of
it's
that.
the second season.
It expands a little bit. You get some new characters, and we're going to talk about those. But for the most part, more horny gambling.
Yeah. I thought it was sort of to a lesser extent in this one.
I mean, so that's the thing, and we'll talk about that later.
It
but
starts off kind of like the first season.
yeah,
To the point where I even said, this one starts off, I thought it started off better.
yeah,
I thought it started off pretty good.
yeah, it's very intense, certainly.
And then it sloped from there. But we'll get into that in a bit.
We'll get into that. Let's just jump into story and setting, why don't we? So, story and setting wise, it is pretty much the same setting. It takes place mostly in the school. We do get a couple extra little vignettes and whatnot. There's one bit in particular, looking at you, Tower of Doors, that was pretty rad and very different from the rest of it. But for the most part, we're in this school. We're in various parts of the school. We're still gambling. The big thing here is that the student council president, Kirari Miss Momobami, has called for an election to be held, putting her seat as president and as the head of the Momobami clan up for grabs. As such, each house of that extended clan has sent representatives to enroll and possibly take control, because whoever runs this school runs the world. That is seriously a line in this show, which is absurd, of course, but...
Yeah.
If you look at it, the whole thing here is that we've got all these students who, mostly through pure nepotism, are going to end up in office, running these companies, being billionaires, and running the government and whatnot. And so, if they are all in debt to you now, you can basically control them later, is what we're saying. Absurd, but if that's the world we're living in, fine. You told me that's how it works, that's how it works. Beyond that, though, it's pretty much just... Let's get on to it. This is where it turns into you said before it's a tournament anime. This is now a proper tournament anime. Yeah. You want to tell us how that election works that we're having?
Okay, so in the first season where you're voting for livelihood or money or,
that's what you're gambling
material
over, yeah.
things. Yes, this one, everybody in the entire school gets one vote chip.
That is your vote. And you can't just cast a ballot.
Right.
Kinda. You can, however, gamble with that, and whoever has the most vote chips when it's all said and done, they're the new student council president, and they run the school.
Yeah. It's all about just the influence you have with those vote chips.
Indeed. And we see a lot of them flying around very quickly. In fact, there's a bit early on where you see some students are just like doing whatever, just like, okay, fine, I'll bet with this. Oh, I lost it. Who cares? Like, they don't really give a damn. But then you do see other people, particularly those who are lower on the rungs, walking around with these little tags on, fucking Mittens and Fido or whatever they are, and they're staring at it like it's their ticket out of this joint. And they're gonna try to make their vote count. But, it's all gonna get, there's still these few who are undoubtedly, gonna be running stuff.
Yeah.
And you're gonna see them running stuff. There's also a few times where they have this little election tracker thing that's like, here's the top 10 or whatever.
Yeah.
It's pretty fun. But anything else to say about story and setting, big boy?
Nope. It's just more of the same. Other than the big change is, of course, the voting system.
Because and the new characters.
Because we have these new characters coming in, who are essentially running head to head with Kirari to become the president or whatever.
And they are members of the extended Momobami clan. And all of them, you will note, they all have different names and whatnot, but all of them end in Bami. Now, wait a minute, Raja.
Yup.
Isn't our girl from the first season, she's in this too, she's the main character. Her name's Yumiko. Isn't her last name Jabami?
Jabami. Not to be confused with Jabroni.
But yes, you find out that she is apparently part of this extended family. Pretty early on, they mention that. And that has some sway over what happens, but for the most part, it's just this whole family now is going at it and fighting and blah blah blah. Do you want to talk about these characters?
Yeah, let's talk about some. I don't know which ones to talk. I guess we could just talk about the new clan, like not every single character.
No,
but
there's a few. I mean, that's the thing. I feel like if we give like a breakdown of any individual character, it's got to be someone who's like in there more. But for the most part, they get like one, maybe two one-off episodes.
Yeah.
There's some extended development with a couple of them later on.
Yeah.
But yeah,
it seems that this clan, the head of them is Toronto Totobami.
Yes, she is the one who is the closest to taking over. Like just purely because she is so very ruthless and like is for sure the one who believes she deserves it and whatnot.
Yep.
And she's pretty cool. She's actually like in a wheelchair. There's another person who's always wheeling her around.
Is she pretty cool? Because I don't recall very much that she did.
She don't do much, but what I liked her just because she was always so very calm, collected, and the only one who didn't take none of Kirari's shit.
Sure.
Because everybody else is like, well, she's the president, she runs shit, I'm not gonna do that. And Homegirl's just like, fuck all that.
Yeah, she is the counterpart to Kirari.
Yeah. She's the one going straight after her.
Yeah.
Beyond that, we get a few other ones. One of whom. Let's see. There's a couple of guys. We don't see them do very much except for in one game, the Greater Good game.
Ibarra Obami.
Sure.
He's the guy that does a little bit. He's got like the barbed wire tattoos around him. He's got orange hair.
He's got a barbed wire tattoo around his neck. Holy moly.
He's very much a bro, and yeah.
Oh, again, now I did watch the sub again, and you watched the dub, yes? Okay.
By the way, she does say the get your gambling freak on thing.
Yeah, that's like her go-to line, right?
And
she says the same thing in here, but it's all subtitled. So I was like, oh boy. What else we got? Oh, there's like the little goth girl who she's like a little gothic Lolita chick.
Yeah.
I don't know the names.
What was her name? It was Irimi Mushibami.
Yeah.
Irimi Mushibami.
Pretty interesting.
Yeah. She comes out right out the gate. And honestly, really, I enjoyed her arc the best.
Yeah.
Like, just those first couple of episodes or few episodes with her, they were really, really, really intense. Because she was bringing a game where, you might lose a goddamn finger.
Yeah.
Maybe not, but, what you're thinking, the way they spin it at the beginning is, yes, this guillotine is going to come down and chop off your damn finger.
Yeah, dude.
And the first season leads you into such a way that you think, well, maybe somebody, probably not our main character, probably not Yumiko, but somebody could lose a damn finger.
Yeah.
I mean, I could see getting away with, the loss of a finger. But that is the last time in this entire series that I ever felt that any of these had stakes.
I don't know about that.
Really?
The Tower of Doors bit in particular.
I don't know, man.
Homegirl, like there's a whole bit where whoever loses has to jump out of this tower. Which can be fairly... Yeah.
But did you think she was going to plummet to her death at any point?
That character? Yes, I did.
Oh,
I thought it was possible. Because you don't see her do jack shit until then. And it's like, hey, if you're going to kill someone off, the one who doesn't do anything. Possible, but then, spoilers, so we're not going to talk about it.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's the thing, is like this show... even with that one, everything about this show, that's what I was saying before. It doesn't feel like there's ever any real stakes to me. Like maybe with the finger thing, but then they even spoil that for you like halfway through that episode. Like, haha, gotcha.
I don't know. I thought the first season did a better job than this season.
I don't know.
Of stakes. Plus, it's just like the vote system. I don't think it really did it for me.
There was one other bit, I will say, that had some real stakes, and these are real palatable stakes that something can happen because it already has. and that's a bit where we have the two characters who can talk to each other just by like blinking in motions. They're basically psychic.
Yeah, that was a good arc.
Someone straight up gets poisoned, and we have the antidote. You're gonna play for it
because they're part of like a medical conglomerate. Or something.
Yes. So that there are some stakes in here, but for the most part,
it was after that I was like, okay, well, but and it's the votes, dude. Like at the end of the day, did I think that it was gonna total up to anything? Not really. And it totaled up to even less than I thought it would.
Well, let's just spoil this one now. This season ends on a filler arc, it feels like.
Yes.
Yeah, because the main character who it involves toward the end isn't actually in the manga. This was an anime-only thing I found out. And a pretty cool arc, I thought. And yet, you're not gonna get. It's kind of anticlimactic at the end of this one. It's setting up season 3.
You remember the problem that I had with Bloom Into You?
Yes,
which is
didn't give you a proper ending.
It's a far superior anime to this, by the way.
Thank you.
You're building up to something that you think you're gonna get, and then you just don't fucking get it. They're all just sitting in chairs at the end.
Yeah.
Like, congratulations, you made me waste my time. You know how much that chaps my asshole.
Yeah.
So, I got the chapstick on, though. We're good now.
Jesus. I will say there are some interesting characters. You do get some interesting moments, but we're still talking about character development.
Yeah,
Development-wise, there is a bit for one character in particular who I don't think we can really mention.
I want to talk. It's probably the character. I don't want to talk too much about it, but if you're referring to Rei Batsubami?
Yes.
Okay.
Rei Batsubami, who...
is a butler. It's the butler.
There they go.
Yep. Rei is a butler. They mention essentially Rei does all of the work for the clan.
Introduces them when they come in. Introduces the clan and everybody. Basically, just like holding the doors and everything, doing all the work. We can say this much because they mention it early. Rei is not a proper part of the family.
Right.
Rei has been ostracized. Rei's whole family, house apparently, has been ostracized. Batsu, if you look it up, actually means like a X or cross.
Yeah.
As in wrong, Bami, not Bami, is what that would mean.
Yeah.
So it's kind of a, you get some more with that later, but that is basically the character. Rei is pretty much constantly just servicing and serving everyone else. Rei is effectively the house pet for the entire Bami clan, more or less.
The butler.
Yeah. Whereas everyone, you lose your money in the school, you're a house pet. Rei just is the house pet. I mean, for God's sake, name literally means 0, for God's sake. Yeah, it's pretty wild. But interesting character. Good development later on, I would say. Okay. I'll give you that. I'll give him that much. But I don't know.
Okay.
Anyway, let's go on.
Yeah,
art and animation.
Art and animation. It's
pretty good.
It's pretty good. It's more the same. I thought it actually took a bit of a hit going on.
Sure.
Compared to what it was in the first season, and then the very first few episodes with the how did we describe it earlier? The sickness arc where somebody is poisoned.
Yes.
And then the guillotine storyline there. The faces and the craze and everything there was really, I felt good, and it just drags after that. You don't get a whole lot of it.
You do get a bit, but it's those moments are few and far between. I will say that there's a moment toward the end where there's some very fluid animation that fucking Yumiko is doing that looks amazing for like a scene or two toward the end. Because we blow the budget at the end. Really gotta save up that wad.
Every now and then you still get good scenes. It just felt like
some good stuff.
It felt like going on, like the CG and everything was a little more noticeable.
Maybe.
I don't know. I didn't think it was as good, as clean as the first season.
I honestly, for the most part, I thought it was very good. I will say that I still just, in general, those weird faces don't work for me.
Yeah.
It really feels
That's what I look for.
It really just feels like you'll see them in animes and even like Western TV shows sometimes where like they'll just suddenly be like hyper realistic, like, and it's usually played for gags. Look at GTO, look at Sobi Sobase where they're doing the goofy faces. Here it's not for laughs. And if I'm being generous, if I was to be generous, I would say, well, that's a moment where this person has dropped all pretense. They're not putting up any kind of fronts, and this person's either truly terrified or very angry or mad about something, and that's
super
them
intense.
like that's them getting real intense about something. But honestly, every time it just feels weird to me. I don't think it works. That kind of like hyper realization, like face making and all the weird faces. That usually for me only works in some kind of comedy role like GTO.
I like it. I think that it does work, at least for me. However, I think in this season it doesn't work as much because it just feels it happens so sporadically, and even towards the end I felt like so little that compared to the first season and those first couple of episodes, that it just feels out of place from time to time.
It just felt jarring to me.
Yeah, I would say it was definitely jarring.
You want to talk about the music and sound?
Let's get the soundtrack.
It's fine.
I didn't like the opening song as much as the first opening song.
I like the first one better, yeah.
Yep, and then the end song was blah.
Yeah, it was fine.
The intermittent music is okay.
I honestly, for the most part, it was very forgettable.
Yeah,
for me.
I don't remember much of it.
Yeah, I didn't have a whole lot going into this one. I will say that you get another arc with the like pop star girl. Mm-hmm. There is some pretty good music and singing in that bit.
Okay, yeah,
that's
there is
decent.
We get what, Amazing Grace?
Yeah, someone just straight up sings Amazing Grace. They don't do like a second verse or anything. They just repeat the first verse, which is not how that song goes. How dare you? But fine, whatever. I will say that here's something that I just totally didn't mention before. This show's so freaking horny. The pop group that Homegirl forms with Yumiko is the Dreaming Creaming Sisters. For real?
Yeah, I love it. Dreaming and creaming, baby.
That's so bad.
Call it Saturday night.
But yeah, overall, the music was unimpressive, honestly.
Yeah, very impressive.
You got something to say about the Je ne sais quoi, bro?
Yeah, man. I think that, like I said, this show sloped, and whenever I say sloped, I felt like after the first 4 episodes or so, it hit a straight downward slope.
Yeah?
It got worse and worse and worse. And even to the very end where you get the big twist about a character, which in my mind
saw it coming from a billion miles away.
It still should have been cool, but at that point I was like, who fucking cares?
Yeah.
Who cares? You mean this whole fucking story? I get that the anime is about gambling and it's very important to it, but your revenge was via. You were so upset about these people and the way they gambled and how it ruined your life and your family, and you were borderline forced into slavery, and your grand plan was to gamble in an auction.
Taking over.
Yeah, and do what exactly?
Well, that would presumably this person would then become head of the clan. That was the thing, because Momobami, she's putting up not only the council but also the head of the clan. I don't get why
anybody would at that point. Why would anybody care though? Why would they follow it?
This person does. That's the thing. Yeah.
Yeah, I guess, but I mean, there was just not enough build to anything. There wasn't enough. Like, I couldn't get behind these motivations and stuff like that. Because there wasn't enough there.
And that's the thing is, remember, this character was like, there's stuff in here that's like different from other forms of this like story and whatnot. So they kind of had, I feel like maybe some of it was a little thrown together. One thing in particular is there's a character who like has this driving motivation that has to do with someone who was hurt or something by the clan. And it is implied and made kind of obvious that it is Yumiko's sister, who we know is in the hospital from the first series. So, like, that honestly felt like kind of a throwaway, like, let's just say it has to do with her. So, I don't know. It felt kind of weird, but overall, I think toward the end it got some good flash and whatnot, but it was just that. It was flash. It was sizzle without the steak.
Thought by the end of it, I was so ready to be done with this anime.
Well, see, that's the thing. Like, a lot of it just felt like the same as last time to me. Yeah. I would say it's about on par.
But the thing is, last time, like, they hit the bare minimum, like, storytelling they had to.
Okay.
And this one didn't even do that.
I feel you.
It just went straight in, like, well, you know this from last season, so We don't need to forward much of anything. To so much where the first season, the second main character, really, Ryota, he is next to nowhere.
He has one role in like one game that's pretty important, and that's about it.
And other characters,
and he's just like I'm a shadow
bring
now.
Back the idol and shit like that. Like okay, well, this is pointless. And then they bring back the dude that where his hair goes gray or whatever.
Well, he did have a fun little.
He did have a fun part, but you know, like, what did it amount to?
Yeah, it was just more about like those characters and their this pseudo relationship.
Kakegurui XX does the absolute minimum
to like just count as a story
all around the entire.
Okay.
Yeah. It was, oh man, it was just like I was so ready to be done with it.
Yeah. I don't know, man. For me, my je ne sais quoi bit, the only thing I would talk about is I would say the games are overall fairly interesting. It suffers from a lot of the same stuff as before, where like, what's the twist, what's this and that, and they either just tell you, but then there's something else that you couldn't possibly know, blah blah. The explanations are very long-winded on these. Moreover, here's the thing that really bummed me out is the rules don't fucking matter, because there are times when they like, and they have like literal fully neutral monitors who are there just to make sure everything's legit, but then the rules will just change partway through some of these games. That one in particular, the whole poisoning thing, it's like, okay, well, blah blah, this is that, this is how it works. Okay, cool. Well, someone got poisoned. I'm gonna use the cure, the syringe that has the antidote in it as money, so I can bet. It's like, well, you can just do that now. A lot of time is their reasoning for it is like, well, it's not in the rules that it's against the rules. Yes.
Like,
exactly.
Come the fuck on.
It's pretty goofy.
Punching your opponent in the face over a game of Monopoly it's not in the rule book that you shouldn't do it.
But
that's going to end the goddamn game.
Yeah, no shit. And there's also another bit later on where, without getting too spoilery, the whole point of these fucking vote chips is that you have to win them through gambling. You can't just cast a ballot.
Yeah.
And then a way is found around that. And it's so fucking dumb.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. There's parts of this that are just really goofy. Beyond that, I will say that the horniness is still a little off-putting, although less so because
it's lesser in this one.
It has less to do with like weird niche kinks and whatnot, which fine, live your life. But it has more to do with now, just look at these tits. There's a lot of just here's my tits. There's one character from this clan who is just tits.
Yep.
Yumiko's got big old tits. This girl's got even bigger tits. They're at times just straight up groping each other. There's a bit where someone challenges Yumiko and she's like, why don't we bet our lives? And she like just grabs her chest.
Like twisting.
Just straight up grabs her titty.
What the hell is
And it's like, she's reaching for her heart. No, you're just grabbing her tit.
Yeah.
Okay, you're just
I
grabbing
didn't get that it was reaching
now.
for her heart. I was that's just what is this?
I don't know. In the dub, she mentions heart, so I was like, okay, fine. Or the sub rather. But yeah,
they didn't do that in the dub.
It's pretty goofy.
Well, let's give some scores out for Who Cares the Anime.
All right,
sir.
How'd you feel about the story and setting, big boy?
I gave it 1 point.
I gave it 1.5.
Okay.
It was pretty much same as last time for me. Characters and development?
0.5.
I gave it a 1, same as last time.
Okay.
How about the art and animation?
1.5.
1.5, same as last time. The music and sound?
I gave it 1.
I gave it a 0.5.
Okay.
And the je ne sais quoi?
Big fat 0.
Big fat 0 for you.
Actually, yeah, man.
I actually gave it a 1. That's 0.5 better than last time because it was less like people getting stepped on.
I don't know. This one seemed like if you enjoyed the first season, which I did enjoy.
Did I actually give this a higher score than you, sir?
I think so, dude.
What's that bring you to?
It brings me to 4 points.
5.5. I went up half a point.
Mine is sitting at an anime.
I got an anime beyond you.
I was so beyond the point of fucking caring by this.
You just didn't give a shit.
Yeah, it was just any excitement was there.
Not a rat's red rump, not a good goddamn.
I couldn't find any fucking excitement past those first couple of episodes. The first 2 little things.
Sorry,
even the tower, it's a cool idea. A lot of the games were cool.
The tower was the only one that I truly was into it all, because one, there was the whole claim that we're gonna get a little spoiler with this one. If you lose, you have to jump off this tower from the top floor, which is 5 stories up. Second, when they started it and they start doing stuff and they show you like, here's how the game works. That was the only one that as soon as they got partway through and they're like, wait a minute, why is that like that? I was like, I get it. Like, I knew it instantly. That was the only one I actually managed to figure out because they gave me enough information to fucking figure it out.
Yeah.
So I was okay with it. But a lot of them, yeah, it's the constant like rule changing, even with constant monitoring and people who are supposed to be impartial judges and whatnot. And parts of it got real doofy.
Yeah, it just who cares?
Yeah.
I just didn't care.
Yeah,
I was so done with it by
just didn't give half a shit.
Yep.
Oh, my baby.
I made it through though.
You made it.
But let's go ahead and talk a little bit about next week. I didn't tell you what we're reviewing, so I'm going to tell you right now, dude.
Tell me right now.
Talking about Hattori Bochi next week.
Hey!
It's over. Everything is clearing out right now, so we're gonna
getting
have
ready
plenty
for
of
next
stuff
season.
to talk
Yeah.
about. Yeah, and then in a few weeks we'll be doing the what we think you should be watching from the summer 2019 anime.
Nice.
Super exciting episodes every time. I really enjoy doing those, and I think a lot of other people have been enjoying them too.
It's gonna be a good time.
So it feels just like yesterday that we did the last one and the one before that, but.
Oh man,
The whole season, baby.
it has indeed.
And
I can't wait, man.
I'm excited
actually
to see all this new stuff that's coming out. Lots of cool looking stuff.
Yeah, I was actually shuffling through Verve and stuff to try and find me something new, and nothing had gone up yet.
Yep.
There's one that went up today. I've watched the first like 3 minutes of it while I was sitting here waiting for us to start.
It was one that I talked to you about a little bit.
Yeah, you did. You did tell me about
I'm stoked about it. But we'll catch you next time, good buddies. Please leave us a comment below so you can talk to us.
Smash that
Let
like
us know
button.
what you thought about Kakegurui XX. Or the season 2 of Kakegurui.
However you want to say that.
If you really liked it, let us know. Let us know why you liked it. Maybe I missed something. Maybe I missed just like a key piece of info. I don't know.
I don't mind telling you. I mean,
But-
again, I went up half a point and you dropped it. So.
Yeah, I dropped it hard compared to
Yeah,
last
no
time.
kidding.
But yeah, let us know what you thought about it.
Yeah, so-
I'm curious to know.
Yeah, if you're on the YouTube, by all means, smash that like button, give us a comment, and make sure to subscribe and ring that bell so we can ding your dong. If you're listening on the podcast, stay tuned. We're about to go into the ramble. YouTube, we'll get you on the next episode that's coming up tomorrow, or maybe it's the future. And of course, shout out to our good buddy Haas for the music you're about to hear on the YouTube review. That is The Buddy's Good. Our good buddy Haas, who you can find at Thomas Tastes Better on Instagram. One more time, that's Haas. That's Thomas Tastes Better on Instagram. Anything else to say, big boy?
That's it, dude.
Let's go plug on out of here.
I love you, good buddies. And y'all are great.
I love you more than he does, so
No, that's just not true.
it is a competition,
not
and
true.
this is my gamble.
Well, we'll see you next time. Y'all take it easy. Goodbye.
Later.